Hey fellas, well, I'm gonna try something tomorrow, see how that goes. I'll probably have some movie log ready for you to go, or for you before I leave. Hey, but before that, it's time for another quick reaction and thoughts on the latest Japanese episode of Pokemon Journeys, which will be number 28. Hates regarding Sobbing Sobble. I mean, given him what some recent reveals there have been, and surrounding this episode even before it aired, I will submit it's a case where one can say, hey, and now for something completely different. So let's open this up. Yeah. So, pick up where we left off. This is the second part of Ashton Go's most recent trip to Galar region, and the last one was as involving them visiting in the place to watch a match between the champion Leon as well as the dragon type between the Raihan. And I actually gotta say I really like how they're handling in this anime. Rather than merely being a straightforward adaptation and of the game's world as most ones have, I really enjoy how the series is taking an approach where it includes elements from all the generations so far. I mean, sometimes I want to play a showy new game. Sometimes I want to play some 3DS games I've seen a bit of mileage. Other times, just want to play the original ones the umpteen times I was 10. And and on that note, this episode also features many other her 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 great elements, and it's even before the starter as a picture. Yeah. On that note, we have the have them eating a bunch of curry at breakfast time, as well as Ash enjoying some of his favorite croquettes as well. Also they end up getting a little bit of a visitor her at their breakfast. Yes, and wouldn't you know it, it's Sobble. And I will be addressing how, like with Lana's Eevee, they once again have subverted expectations in a good way, in my opinion. To be honest, I don't really have any major problem with whoever joined the Sobble Squad this time around. Either one was fine with me because personally, hey, this one has been my spirit Pokemon ever since I started playing Generation 8 late last year. So there we go. Yeah. Elsewhere, Team Rocket is trying to find them in Winden, with mixed success as given how windy it is there. And I'm not sure if this is probably by coincidence or on purpose, but happens to coincide with another event in Pokemon Go. I thought I wouldn't be talking about that, but I guess the playing field changed more than one. On where, on top of end game and balloons being in the sky, there Meowth balloon is as well. I'll more on that in a moment, but I guess you might say that Team Rocket's blown away again. Now comes one of the biggest and one of the most amusing subversion expectations I've seen, and much like others have been. And in this case, where a lot of people were actually banking on Ash to catch this one, well, I guess he'll be joining the Grookey gang instead, depending on what happens. And looks like this time it's going to be Go that joins the Sobble Squad when he catches this water lizard in the first act, no less. It's like they flipped the whole script completely on its head. It would have been interesting to see. Hey, I'll admit, it could have actually been his most powerful water source in Greninja, but I guess this time it's Deuteragon's turn, as if to say, Jigo? How come that you have two Galarian starters? Oh, but the fun doesn't end there. Not by a long shot. I mean, in this case, we have oh, trying to contain Sobble, and then when Team Rocket also bursts in on things, trying to heal the Water Lizard, even they are overpowered by how powerful Sobble's cries are. I mean, I'm actually kind of glad they actually kept the chemical reaction in the Pokedex in this episode as well, and even like their Rotophones are driven to tears at this. I mean, normally when her interactive companion gains sapience, it's like a Black Mirror episode instead of a gag like this, but it actually kind of works. I also like how the personalities are different for, and even the voice is different for each of their mobiles in this one, which makes sense when you have different brands you like, where you have Google, OK Google, Microsoft Cortana, Amazon Alexa, and of course, an Apple Man, Siri. Yeah. So, while I didn't think that Team Rocket was actually going to hit their first starter, however, there is something I do think might be possible in the future. That's Morpeko, a sort of this hangry Pokemon who is this which is Pikachu analog and definitely one of the most amusing. I think if they play the cards right, and if this does become a recurring monster in the future, it could basically be like the Mimikyu of this series, as it was to as what Mimikyu was with Sun and Moon series, which I'm still amused. And again, I'm still going to vlogs of that to explain this more. So, yeah. And like the whole image of them just Mimikyu getting in the snack horde is definitely an amusing image of has wowed many in this episode. Like Mimikyu in my snacks, it's more like than you think. Yeah. Yeah. All of this ends up leading to a battle near the bridge. And I also like how they incorporate all the setting into the episode's action as well. That I always like little details like that in any anime, especially to make that integral to the story and the action. I mean, even though they're trying to call Ash and Go morons again, and they're the research fellows, and you, who my friends, are the Pokemon Tech washouts turned vice gangsters, so don't go there. Especially, when they end up cheaping out in their cage, because they ran out of money. I mean, if they don't have the budget for a cage, then maybe don't. I mean, maybe just like some rope or twine would be cheaper. Yeah. Yeah, so in the midst of this rescue, thankfully, they actually have the Go Goggles from when and they were during that raid in the desert resort in Unova, so they used them. Another use for them is to block the chemical compound, which they also discovered that when Miami was cutting onions for their dinner the other day, and with this in mind, it helps everyone best as the crybaby Armaldo and even Magnezone somehow was capable of shedding tears, which is kind of amusing to see like this big old dinosaur and flying saucer are broken up like this. I mean, come on. If you think that Sobble's chemicals are gonna cause this kind of reaction, then you are really gonna have a hard time making it through Planet. I mean, yeah. So, to help wrap things up, I mean, so Go, how now has a satisfying Sobble, to help. I mean, I guess since Ash got the Galarian Farfetch, which will be a Surfetch in the future, it's only fair. Here and now there's all two hours of content with a Hangry Morpeko. Oh, I mean, I guess Marnie will be happy about that one if and when they include her. Again, I'm just glad I had got to see Sonya last time. So I guess not a total stretch given how Daiki Yamashita also how voiced the JP Deku in My Hero Academia, so he has experience with this kind of emotional roller coaster. And to be honest, this one's actually a lot of fun, and even if it did get pretty weedy, this will be one of 3 episodes that'll probably have that kind of going for it there. I mean, not sure what's gonna happen next week. I mean, I may or may not be doing another reaction and video on that one, but we'll see what happens. I mean, a lot of things kind of been upended because of this pandemic, so make do what you got, man. So anyway, a lot of fun covering this episode. Hope you enjoy, hate it in some way as well, and I will see you all in my next Pokemon Sun movie log. Alola.